Monday's market breakdown. So we're gonna start with the gold. Let's start with the gold. Okay, so a bit explanation of what happened last week and where gold may go upcoming week, given the fact that we're already started bullish. So I was expecting price going higher. I wasn't tagged in last week to drive this whole movement to the upside, but we're definitely going to find some more. So on H4 we can see that we have a great demand zone here that was nicely rejected. Let's say respected on Tuesday. So first was Tuesday, and then on Wednesday price actually started to pull higher. Okay, so what I was expecting was that the rejection of this level, pushing higher, internal break of structure, so market shift, we created a nice fair value gap down there, order block. I did expect the price would pull in into that and then go from there, but obviously, as you can see, it didn't, right? It happens. And from that point on, it just moved higher and higher. Now, let's see what we can expect. So daily, we are definitely bullish. I'm just going to delete those minor stuff that we don't need anymore. Daily, we're definitely bullish. Weekly, obviously bullish. I think we're gonna cover the week at least 50%, or even go to the all-time high or even higher. So currently, we do have tensions between US and Iran. So this is why gold is still bullish, still pulling higher. And yeah, we go from there. So like I said, daily bullish. We have a last pullback and then push higher, which means that we have impulse movement to the upside. So currently we do have the fair value gap here on the daily. Let's see, like that. I'm just gonna mark that up for futures references. I'm not gonna say that we can cover that right away. We have to come to the certain points in the market, technically speaking, before collapse. But given the fact that we just broke the structure, which means that this high that created this low, as you can see, this move to the downside, impulse to the upside, break of structure, creating fair value gap on daily, pushing higher for consecutive days. And I think we're gonna do that. I think we're gonna push even more and then correct itself. So it may correct when we're gonna hit this resistance region, or even before we're gonna see, right? Okay, so H4. So what happened today? Obviously, on the opening, push, pullback, and continuation. It is what it is, right? We did not see that pullback to the downside. As you can see now on H4, how a daily is in line with H4 structure that got broken up, right? Beautiful. So definitely expecting price pulling down, but we cannot know when, right? As of now, we're gonna focus on what we see as of this moment. So as of this moment, we saw that the Asian session obviously was range, okay? London was range, and then New York session was a push higher. The setup definitely happened on lower time frames. I wasn't at the screen today, so I didn't catch it. My bad. But yeah, the week is still young, you know? So we had the push higher displacement, we have the fair value gap, we have the order block, which is on H1. I'm gonna mark that up. Okay, H1. H1 what, right? You have to describe it. H1 order block. Okay, we have fair value gap. We did pull in, but we did not cover the whole one. You know, we just rejected of this high of the structure. As you can see, nothing else. Now we are stopping. So great impulsive movement, some correction in between, pushing down. So if we go to the lower time frame, such as 15, and we do it like that, we have the very high of the day, right? The very high of the day where price is currently rejecting. Now, nice impulse movement to the upside. We have those three candles, red ones obviously, that can act as a pullback. I mean, as a order block. We still have fair value gap, yeah. And what happened today? Rejected this region, this demand level. Like technically it should pull even lower to cover the fair value gap here, to reject the order block to the T, but it didn't. It is what it is. So impulsive movement out of this whole structure, currently rejecting. I'm definitely looking for correction to the downside to see where and from where we can push higher. Okay, the FIP says H1 order block. Okay, between 0.62 and 7.05. I will be looking for possible longs, but I'm not going to use buy limits or any sorts. So the best case scenario will be that price rejecting that. What is drying or not? Okay, that. Why is lagging? Oh my god. Okay. So the best case scenario will be the price rejecting this region, pushing down right there, creating a setup, meaning reject the level, cover the fair value gap, create a structure, some sort of. You can always switch to the lower time frames, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 50 minutes. And then from this point, break of structure internally, correction. This can happen very fast, and then continuation. So usually this will happen like in New York session, okay? But yeah, we're gonna see, okay? So this is gold. I'm very much bullish as of this moment. GBP USD. I don't know why it's lagging. Recent chart view. Okay, working now. So GBP USD weekly. So last week we ended up being bearish, obviously. It created displacement. It created fair value gap. We are pushing higher of the starting of this last week in the February, but as you can see, we're already rejecting it. But I think we're gonna have some liquidity in the structure on the lower time frames. We're gonna check that. But I will definitely look for that if, in case we because we started bullish, push higher all the way there to cover this region. That would be awesome, right? And then from this point to fall down. So I'm gonna write this up. I'm gonna say weekly fair value gap, and then we're gonna see how the daily looks like. Okay, so the daily structure that got broken, a nice impulse movement to the downside, currently in correction, but we are currently rejecting the low of the structure. Okay, so high, low, high, low. So we're currently rejecting that. If obviously we're gonna successfully reject that, turn down, then definitely price is not going to come back up to the weekly fair value gap, and it's just going to collapse to the downside, which you're gonna see that tomorrow, Wednesday, whatever the day may be, but you're gonna see that mid sessions, lower time frames, when setup is going to be presented. H4, we have a nice, as you can see, a nice trend to the downside. Push, correction, push, correction, push, correction, push, correction, push, correction. Okay, so at the big weekly fair value gap, we have the highs on the H4. Okay, I don't think that those highs are being protected. Then we have a H4 supply area or order block. We have H4 fair value gap. We do have break of structure. So the point of interest will definitely be this H4 supply. This will be the point of interest. Center inside. Okay, this will be the point of interest from where I want to see price in. I want to see rejection, creation of a setup on lower time frames, and then we go from there. But if that doesn't happen, like I said on the previous on the daily, then we're going to look for setup anyway, right? On the lower time frames. But currently we are rejecting this demand area that was created last week on Friday, as you can see, and then the Sunday skyrocketed to the upside, broke the structure there, blah blah blah, right, and created the high of the day. So as long as this region is holding, I see price coming to the H4 supply area, and definitely we have some liquidity being built up above the structure. 100%. Okay, so currently rejecting the 15-minute order block. We did had a market shift today. We did had this market shift, interim break of structure, as you can see when we had this New York session. Okay, so New York session broke above, create a market shift to the upside, return back, cover the further gaps, rejected the order block as of this moment. Doesn't mean it's going to hold. If it's not holding, then this thing is going to be break a block or support becoming resistance, in basic terms. But yeah. Okay, let's see. Like I said, whether price comes here, rejects, and then continuation down, or just break below and we go from there. So if I draw this for you, it is going to be like this, or here, rejection, structure, break of structure, retest, continuation. Okay, nothing else. So 2 options. Okay, those 2 options, and we have to be careful because it's end of the month, but who cares? Okay, GJ. So GJ is the pair that I've been trading for the last 6 years, I must say, but I had it on the pause for the last year, so I'm gonna say actively 5 years. GJ was my love. And yeah. Okay, weekly escalated down. Look at this. A major pullback after so many years. See? Since I started to trade in it. Oh, sorry, that wasn't it. It was 25. Where is it? I have to go on monthly, honestly. Yeah, yep, seems like it. In 2020, started trade GJ actively. Bullish ever since, right? And currently, on the monthly basis, we have first correction of this whole impulse movement that started last year in March, okay? That broke the structure. So if that's it, if this is actually going to start collapsing, then I think we're gonna be bearish, very much bearish. Okay, weekly. So weekly ended up indecisive last week, but 2 weeks ago, definitely bearish, created displacement, fair value gap, order block, currently rejecting. Definitely this can turn like 1, 2, 3 rejections to the downside. This can turn to the upside, create this, cover this fair value gap, and then go from there. So like that, weekly fair value gap, like that. Let's see the daily. So currently daily is, as you can see, it's in the range. The price action is definitely in the range. We definitely broke the structure there. We create displacement. We have fair value gap. We have everything. The only thing basically we need that, some sort of signs that GJ can actually go higher. Okay. Currently we are sitting ducks there. As you can see, currently rejecting this demand level. Okay, which is cool, right? Impulse, correction, impulse. Okay, so H4 has definitely created the liquidity above the range. We dipped down, we took out the lows, we pushed higher, but we're back in the range, right? Can't do anything here in the range. You can scope it, but that's up to you. H1 level, we are creating support out of this demand level, as you can see. Out of this demand, rejection, 280 will be the number that we want to look for. We created displacement inside of the range. We are currently rejecting this level on H1, but I don't think, we have to see the Asian, right? But this is the high, like that. Okay, 30 minutes, nothing special. 15 minutes, nothing special indeed. Like if you are a risk trader, you can go in from those points. Either you jump in from the extreme low or extreme high, but it's up to you. For me, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for this. So because we rejected those points several times, let me use that one highlighter. 1, 2, 3 points, right? We rejected this several times. We know that we have liquidity to the upside, but we have this. So the last high that created the low, okay? Meaning that this can hold and push down. Then this means that your 15-minute order block that I showed you before is going to be invalidated. You're gonna get hit. So best case scenario will be that you wait for price to actually overcome this level. You have new support, pushing it in. You have a 209 level as a confluence, because GJ loves the numbers. Okay, my students knows this. Boom, and then you have it. Okay, and you will definitely target the highs, the liquidity, and most likely weekly fair value gap. So let's wait and see what GJ is going to do through the Asian, because GJ is definitely active through the Asian session. It's a very active pair. It usually moves whole day, honestly. But yeah, let's just wait. So on gold we have fall down, wait to see what will happen there. GBP USD, whether we break below, create a breaker block and go from there into the shorts, or whether we push higher, reject this H4 POI and go from there. And GJ exactly the same. Okay, so guys, thank you for watching. Be safe and happy trading. Bye bye.